And we are going to start very soon.
Hello. Hello. Yeah, but the hello.
Hi everybody, welcome to today's lesson, grade 4 English first additional language, and I hope that you are ready to have a lot of fun. I'm quickly just going to go to the next slide. So today we are going to talk about comprehension. Is there anybody that can tell me what comprehension is?
Oh, yeah.
Anybody that knows what comprehension is? You can put up your hand and tell me. So comprehension is when we read a story and we want to check if we understand what we read. That is comprehension. So I have compiled a few tips for you on how you can approach comprehension. So the first thing that you can do is you need to read the story and make sure that you understand. Well done, Zakira. You've got it. Your answer was read and understand the story. Well done. So when you read a story, you need to make sure that you understand all the words. You need to use a dictionary if you need it. And then after you've read the story once, you read all the questions of the comprehension, and then you read the story again. After that, you circle the possible answers in the comprehension. So let's do this in action. Let me just go to the next slide. So first we are going to read a poem. We know it's a poem because the last word of each sentence rhymes. Little train upon the track, travel to town and back. Stop for people on the way, going shopping for the day. So now let's see if there's any words here that I'm not sure of and that I don't understand. Who can tell me what a track is? You can tell me in the chat. Give me the answer. What is a track?
A track is
Yes, Yazan, what is a track?
something used for a train so the train can walk, so the train can move.
Yes. So on a track, a train. Okay, so let's quickly go to our questions. Are you ready? Mohammed, do you have a question?
Yes. Isn't this grade 1 work?
No, it's not. It's grade 3. Oh,
Okay.
yeah, it's grade 4 Anna work. It's grade 4 from the Anna, so don't worry about that. Okay. And it's first additional language, it's not first language.
Okay.
All right. So, circle the letter of the correct answer. Which is the best title for this poem? Visiting, eating, traveling, and dancing. So let's go back to the poem.
Teacher?
Yes.
The answer is traveling.
Yes.
Traveling.
So let's just take a look at the poem again.
Traveling.
Okay, so little train upon the track, travel to town and back, stop for people on the way, going shopping for the day. So we see the word travel there. So then we can say, which is the best title for this poem? Traveling is number C. So let's see what the answer is. C, traveling. Well done, everybody. I see Tibogo, Cabello, Zakira. You've written the correct answer. Are you ready for the next question? You can just type yes or no in the chat. So answer the following questions. The following sentence is written in the present tense. So the present tense tells us about something that happens now at this moment. And what we see there is the train is at the station. So we know that the train is at the station at the moment, right now. So if we have to write the sentence in the past tense, beginning with the word yesterday, who wants to try that in the chat? Hi, Khanya. Sorry that I called you Tibogo. So rewrite the sentence in the past tense, beginning with the word yesterday. So now I have to say that the train did something yesterday. So the train was at the station yesterday. Okay, so Sharon says yesterday the train was at the station. Do you guys agree with that or do you disagree? Yesterday the train was at the station. Okay, Cabello says it's fine. They agree. Anybody else that's got a different answer? So the following sentence is written in the present tense. How do we know that that sentence is in the present tense? What word tells us that the sentence is in the present tense? And does anyone know? The word is tells us that it is in the present tense. And what word tells us that the train, that it was in the past tense? The word, it's a doing word, was. Yes, well done, Saad. All right, let's go to the next piece of work. The following sentence is in the present tense. The train stops for people on the way. Rewrite the sentence in the future tense, beginning with the word tomorrow. So the future tense is talking about something that's happening in future. So how are we going to write that sentence? So in the present tense, which is happening now, we say the train stops for people on the way. And now how about for tomorrow? Anybody wants to try and do it in the chat? So tomorrow the train will stop for people on the way, says Khanya, Saad, Zoe, and I can't pronounce TM Asbir. So tomorrow the train will stop for people on the way. Well done, guys. Well done, Zakira. Tomorrow the train will stop for people on the way. And even Sharon's got it correct. Well done. I'm going to go on to the next slide. And there's the answer. Tomorrow the train will stop for people on the way. Now, write the underlined word in the plural. What is plural? Please tell me in the chat. What do I mean when I say plural? You have a singular and you have a plural. So Zakira says a plural is many. So I will have one dog, many dogs. Okay, so the red and blue train stopped. What is the plural of train, guys? I can see Mohammed and Liesel have their hands up. Do you have a question, Mohammed?
No.
Liesel, do you have a question?
No.
Or do you want to say the answer? What is the plural of train? Liesel?
Train.
Well done. Trains, yes. Okay. So you guys are very, very smart. Let me ask you another one. Without it being written there, what is the plural of tree? What is the plural of tree? Trees, well done. What is the plural of table? What is the plural of table? Tables. All right, well done. Let me go to the next slide. We are going to read this passage. And remember, we first need to read the passage, then we need to check if there are any words that we don't understand. And if there are any words that we don't understand, we need to look it up in the dictionary. So as I read, you guys need to write words that you're not sure of in the chat for me. Will you do that? Let's start. Blesu was a very small elephant when he sneezed for the first time. The other elephants were moving slowly through the tall grass that hid the legs of his mother and his aunties. It also reached halfway up the bodies of his bigger brothers and sister, and you could not see Blesu at all. Down below, where he was walking, the air was thick with pollen from the flowering long grasses. Suddenly, Blesu felt a strange tickly feeling between his eyes, at the base of his very small trunk. Closing his eyes and closing his mouth, he stuck his very small trunk straight out before him and sneezed. Achoo! It was not the biggest sneeze in the world, but it was a very big for a very small elephant. Bless you, cried his mother and his aunties and his bigger brothers and sisters. Okay, so one person says achoo is a word that they haven't heard before or that they're not sure of. Anyone that's got an answer for what that means? You can tell me in the chat. And then another word that I think could be interesting or one that we don't use often is the word trunk. Because, okay, so someone says achoo describes a sneeze. Do you agree with that? And it is the sound you make when you sneeze. Yes. Great. So tell me, what does trunk mean? Because trunk has got two meanings, or at least that's the two meanings that I can think of at the moment. You have an elephant's trunk and what? Oh, I can think of another meaning. So you have an elephant's trunk and what else? Please tell me in the chat. So you've got an elephant's trunk, you've got a tree trunk, you've got a trunk of a car, you've got the trunk of a suitcase. Or it is a suitcase. Well done, guys. Abigail and Zoe and Desmond, well done. Let's go to the questions, because remember we need to read the questions, then we need to go back and read the story again. Okay, so circle the letter of the correct answer. Which is the best title for the story? A, the herd of elephants. B, the baby elephant who sneezed. C, elephants in the grass. D, elephant brothers and sisters. Then number 5, circle the letter of the correct answer. You could not see Blesu because he hid behind his mother. His brothers and sisters got in the way. The grass was very tall. The air was thick with pollen. I can see a lot of answers, but remember we need to read the passage again. So I'm going to read it one more time. Blesu was a very small elephant when he sneezed for the first time. The other elephants were moving slowly through the tall grass that hid the legs of his mother and his aunties. It also reached halfway up the bodies of his bigger brothers and sisters, and you could not see Blesu at all. Down below, where he was walking, the air was thick with pollen from the flowering long grasses. Suddenly, Blesu felt a strange tickly feeling between his eyes at the base of his very small trunk. Closing his eyes and closing his mouth, he stuck his very small trunk straight up before him and sneezed. Achoo! It was not the biggest sneeze in the world, but it was very big for a very small elephant. Bless you, cried his mother and his aunties and his bigger brothers and sisters. Okay, let's quickly answer the questions. Number 4, circle the letter of the correct answer. Which is the best title for the story? A, the herd of elephants. B, the baby elephant who sneezed. C, elephants in the grass. D, elephant brothers and sisters. I see most people think it's B because it explains what happened in the story. Okay, Jordan family, you say you do not understand. How can I help you? Tolo also says that they are lost. If you are lost, just put up your hand and then I will help you. Okay. Is there anyone that wants to ask a question now? Okay. Number 5, circle the letter of the correct answer. You could not see Blesu because he hid behind his mother, his brothers and sisters got in the way, the grass was very tall, and the air was thick with pollen. So which one is it? 5A, B, C, or D? Number 5C. Yes, the story tells us that the grass was very long. Let me just go to the next slide. Okay, so before we carry on, I want to ask you guys, is there anything that you can, any tips that you have or any ideas that you have for your fellow classmates of what to do when you read?
Keyword answers.
If you want to say something, please just, oh, I see Kayla has got their hand up. What would you like to say? And Zoe, what would you like to say?
You point at the words.
Okay.
I'm going to the toilet.
Okay, thank you.
Well,
right.
actually, to be focused and look at the words properly. And if you don't know it, spell it out properly.
Yes. Okay, someone, Tyler says use a ruler to space words. That's a very good tip. Read until you understand. We are not reading from a specific book. We are reading from the grade 4 ANA paper of 2017. Okay. Is there anybody that wants to read this story to us, the story of Blesu? If you want to read for us, please put up your hand. Oh, I see Zoe's hand is up. Zoe, do you want to read for us?
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to count and then you start. Okay. 1, 2, 3, go.
Blesu was a very small elephant when he sneezed for the first time. The other elephants were moving slowly through the tall grass that hid the legs of his mother and his aunties. It also reached halfway up the bodies of his bigger brothers and sisters, and you could not see bless you at all.
Okay, thank you, Zoe. Is there anybody that wants to carry on reading? That was awesome, Zoe. Anyone else? Please put up your hand. Okay, Zoe, do you want to carry on reading? Because no one's putting up their hand. Okay, wait, Kayla's hand is up. Kayla, do you want to read for us?
I would like to read.
From down below. Kayla, do you want to read for us? Okay. Okay, Max, do you want to read for us?
Yes, down below, where
Okay.
he was walking, the air was thick with pollen from the flowers. Long grass long flowering, long grasses. Suddenly, bless you. Suddenly, achoo! Suddenly, bless you, felt a strange thick feeling below his eyes at the base of his very small trunk. Closing his eyes and closing his mouth, he stuck his very small trunk straight out below him and sneezed. Achoo!
Hello.
I'm losing all the purposes.
Asking
Suddenly,
the music.
Oh, Kayla, are you there? Okay, Zakira, do you want to read? I can't find Zakira. Mohammed, just unmute your mic and then you carry on reading, please. Mohammed?
I want to read.
Okay, you can start there with down below. Okay, whoever wants to read can unmute their mic and then carry on reading from down below, please.
Down below, where he was walking, the air was thick with pollen and the flowering long grasses. Suddenly, Blessed felt a strange uh, tickly feeling between his eyes, between his eyes at the base of his very small tongue. Closing his eyes and closing his mouth, he stuck out a very small tongue straight before him and said, Achoo! It was not the biggest sneeze in the world, but it was very big for a small elephant. Bless you, who cried his mother and his aunties and his bigger brothers and sisters.
Okay, thank you, Mohammed.
Thank you.
Okay, I can see that there's a lot of people that wants to read.
47.
So let me quickly go to the next slide and then I'm going to give you a special invitation. Okay, so we at the Lockdown eSchool would love to hear you reading, okay? But before you can read for us, you must get your parents' permission to read. Okay, is that fine with you? We have muted all of you now because I quickly want to say something. All right. So if you are willing to read for us so that we can talk about it in class and so that we can see how awesome readers, what awesome readers we have, ask your mommy or daddy or your guardian or whoever you are with for permission, and then you go to www.flipgrid.com and then you record yourself reading. Okay, so the flip code is flipgrid.com/FAL reading, and then the password is lockdown. We put a password there so that not everyone on earth can see it, only people with the password. But please ask your parents for permission before you record it. And then if you want to share your video somewhere on social media with your parents' permission, you can do that using the hashtag lockdown eSchool. Okay, so who's going to ask their parents for permission to record the video? I see Azan says he's good at reading, or she's good at reading. I hope to hear their reading. Okay, can I carry on to the next slide? Or are you still taking a screenshot? Okay, I see everybody saying yes, and everybody is excited about reading. I love reading. They always, okay, sorry, Yazan, I see now that you're a boy. I love reading because that means you can travel to places that you've never been to just by staying in your house. And all of us are in lockdown at the moment, so we need to read as much as possible. Okay, so as we end off this lesson, because you've got homework, I want to revise what you need to do when doing a comprehension. So the first thing is you need to read the story and make sure that you understand all the words. You need to use a dictionary if it's needed. Then, number 2, read the questions of the comprehension. And then number 3, circle the possible answers in the comprehension. I see Saad is asking if we can have a reading competition. That is an awesome idea. I'm going to ask the organizers of the lockdown eSchool if that is possible. And then Mags is asking how many pages. Say if you can read for about 30 seconds to a minute, that would be more than enough. So your homework is to read for at least 1 minute. But I really want you to challenge yourself and to read for 5 to 10 minutes on your own. And then if you want to read for all of us so that all of us can see it, you can go to flipgrid.com, FAL reading, and then the password is lockdown. I see Saad is saying, I read a book every night. Well done. And Yazan is reading for 30 minutes. So if you can read for 30 minutes, that's even better. If you can read for an hour, that is the best. But for this Flipgrid recording, you only need to read for 1 minute, 30 seconds to 1 minute, okay? And remember to ask for your parents' permission. If you are looking for awesome stories to read, you can go to nalibali.org. And if you want to watch more of the eSchool lessons, then you can go to africateengeeks.co.za or to go to the Africa Teen Geeks YouTube channel. All right. So thank you very much. And does anyone have any questions? If you have a question that you want to ask, you can put up your hand, or you can ask me in the chat. Okay, so Yazan says there's no more questions. Desmond says there's no more questions. So I hope to see all of you tomorrow, and please keep on reading, and it was great to have all of you in the class. See you tomorrow at 4 o'clock. Bye.